Super Plus.
Greetings and welcome to the Hills of Steel 2 Tank Breakdown series. I'm your host Andrew, and today we're back to introduce another tank to the series. We're getting through a lot of the tanks, so there's very few left to look at, but today we're going to be taking a look at Gatlin. This machine gun based tank is a lot of fun to play, but has a few tricky mechanics that players are going to have to learn. Looking at the statistics, you can see that the health is reasonable, the attack is on the lower side, the speed is very good, and the special is a little on the lower side. We will see why these are a little on the lower side when we get into the game. Of course, there's a variety of skins to choose between. We're going to go with Nuclear Gatlin, as it is one of my absolute favourite skins in the game. As always, you can level the tank up through cards and coins. We've got Gatlin to over level 10, which means we've unlocked the 3 slots to add tank parts to, so that we can show you what it looks like with a lot of attachments on it. Because of the style of Gatlin and how we're going to play it, there is of course a number of different ways, but we're going to go for damage. So we'll add the bullet for the 10% increased damage. There is other options for health and speed. We're also going to pick the fuzzy dice for the percentage chance at double damage. And for the last one, we're going to go for something that's a little bit different. We'll go for our special, which we'll be able to show when we get into the game. So we'll add the amplifier. Let's now jump into the action and see what Gatlin's like on the maps. First up, let's check out some Bunker Bash. As we've noticed, Gatlin is actually quite quick at moving, both forward and backward. The attack is, as the name would imply, a Gatlin gun. So although we do a small amount of damage with each bullet, the speed at which we fire is a lot higher than most other tanks, which means that we do a lot of damage if we can land all our bullets. The catch with Gatlin, however, is the recoil. You'll notice that when first starting off, the barrel of the gun is pointing down into the ground, and as you hold the button to fire, it will start to rise until it hits a maximum height. This means that it's a little bit of a challenge. What you need to do is you need to position yourself correctly so that you can take advantage of where the bullets are actually going to be. This will mean that the hills are a little bit trickier to actually deal with. Of course, if you get up close to the tanks and just unload all your bullets right into them, then the height won't matter and you'll do a lot of damage. But when sitting on hills at a distance trying to be able to assist your team, it does become a little bit trickier then. Tapping on the button to do a few shots, sure, it'll do the job, but you'll kind of lose what Gatlin really provides, and that's a lot of high speed damage. So really you want to hold on that button to unload the entire set of bullets before reloading. Whenever you do get at the distance and you have a team that can sit at the front, like this Phoenix for example, it means that we can get ourselves into a decent position. Even if it is far off, we can sit on the hill and let the barrel get to its highest peak, and then we'll be able to do a lot of damage. The special, which you might have seen a few times already, is a little turret. When we press our special, it throws out a little box which then spawns a little turret. That turret will then proceed to do damage until it is destroyed by the enemy team. If you manage to do a lot of damage and build up multiple specials, you can actually summon more than one turret. This provides a number of advantages. It means that you can put the turret out ahead of you to do damage while sitting in safety further back. You can use it to throw over enemies or closer to objectives like the bunkers, and then the turret will do damage for you to that objective. It can also provide a good defensive ability. By throwing it out, enemies have to push into it, and they will take damage in return. But it does die relatively quickly. Let's now jump over to Rampage, where the objective is to actually take down enemies. In this one, we have actually a perfect lineup. we have Kong to sit in the front line, and myself and Tyre are able to sit at the distance and do a lot of damage. So, as Kong pushes in, we're able to sit on the hill and use our damage to do a lot in return. As we then do a lot of the damage, we build up our special, throw it out, and it helps to pin them into their spawn zone, which makes it very difficult then for them to try and push out. But the key thing is, should your front line die, it means that you are then vulnerable because you don't have a lot of health. Because of the additional speed that Gatlin has over some, it means that it's not too long before we can get back into the action from spawn zone. You'll see here that the health issue shows as we get pulled in by the scorpion and die very quickly. So you need to be a little bit careful and sit back and know what your range is actually good enough to take down. Here we're able to see that the Kong will come in and then hold them back as we do a lot of damage to take the victory. But that's not to say that it's easy. You will still need to focus on your bullets landing correctly. In this case, you'll notice that the match tied up at 9-9. However, we did actually end up taking the victory because we managed to leave behind one of the turrets and it was able to take down the final kill for us. In game modes where it's one-on-one, it can be a little bit trickier. It all depends on what tank you go up against, and as well as in boss mode, if you are the tank, you will do a lot of damage, but there are drawbacks to that as well. In this case, we're on the team side, and one of the other advantages that we can note is that the range will be a big factor in taking down this boss. However, when we're firing, you'll notice that there are little explosions whenever it reaches a certain distance, so you can't actually sit far back to take the tank down. In this case, we were fortunate enough to push forward and we actually used our special to trap them in, and that in turn helped lead to victory for us. So although Gatlin fires very quickly and a lot of the shots do good damage, there is still a range. So you need to be careful of when you're actually sitting further back that you're not that far back. This concludes our look at Gatlin in the tank breakdown. The key things are, position yourself well, know how your shots are going to fire off so that you can take advantage of the situation, and when to use your special to get the best effect out of it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to keep up to date with all the content we have going on. Follow our social medias and join our Discord. If you play Gatlin and you have any hints or tips on how to play them, let us know in the comments below. Until the next time, have fun, and we will see you on the hills.